Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the big question, should I cut the spike or should I leave it? So my experiences with Phalaenopsis when the flowers fall is I like to leave the spike. Now I like to leave the spike because sometimes that spike is very green, it's very plump, and eventually it will throw out a secondary spike, or from that same spike it'll start, throwing out buds and it will be flowers again. So let me show you an example. This Phalaenopsis I got in May, and I got it in a beautiful arrangement. It was my daughter's 8th grade graduation, and I won the table raffle and I was able to take it home. It was a beautiful arrangement with white phals, and it was in May. I had like three different plants in that arrangement. So this is a Phalaenopsis that was in full bloom in May, and I had it full bloom again. So if I would have cut the spike, I would not have seen this in such an, so fast. The same spike was able to throw out a secondary spike, which is right here, and I got this. So basically, this spike never got dry. It never. I mean, now is when I'm starting to see that this part here is dry. So it never dried up. It was always plump, and that's, it just started, just developing again. Okay? And then you can see another little secondary spike here. So I'm gonna set her down really quick just because I don't want to ruin, just start wobbling those flowers and they'll fall out. Anyway, so I have another one from that same arrangement. This is gonna be a white phal once it starts blooming. And again, my spike, the original spike it came with, is throwing some secondary and other spikes over here, and then I am getting buds again. Again, this is from May. I'm gonna start getting flowers again. So basically, guys, what I suggest and what works for me is that I just leave the orchid. I just leave the spikes. Once the flowers fall off, I know it's it's annoying. You kind of see this little stick hanging around and nothing going on. But as long as you just set it aside, put it by a window, and fertilize it, every once or every 2 weeks, you will get a bloom again. The only time that I do recommend to cut the spike, or that I cut the spike, is when it just gets completely dry. And the way that I cut it, and is recommended, I mean, I'm going to show you this. I couldn't find any spikes that were dry in all of the ones that I have, so I was able to find this. Actually, this is a dead Phalaenopsis. It also came in that same arrangement, but this one did not survive. So I'm just going to show you really quick where to cut it, just because that way you can just you cut it at the right place. You don't cut anything off, and it'll promote the growth if I had a healthy orchid. So make sure the shears that you're going to cut with, you always disinfect them really good with alcohol. And then I always do this, just I don't want to be spreading any viruses or any bacteria. So I just want to make sure that, I torch it really good. And then let's say this was a green spike. I would probably go either to the second to last node or to the last node. I don't like getting all the way down to the stump, like to so close to the crown. I kind of like leaving a little bit of space, so I go to the second to last node, and I like cutting one, just a little, like an inch above or so. I like just cutting it there. So if this was a healthy orchid, that's where I would cut it if I needed to cut it. If, like I said, if my stem looks green and it looks healthy, I leave it and I don't cut it. Now, as far as fertilization goes, just remember, always fertilize when you have no flowers or you have no buds. This is a great orchid to fertilize. I have a healthy spike, I have no buds going on here, or I have it doesn't look like it's going to flower anytime soon. Eventually, hopefully, probably by the summer, it'll start flowering. I have a nice healthy leaf. My root system looks nice and green. So what I would do is I like to fertilize every 2 weeks. And I would just take this fertilizer or any fertilizer that's meant for orchids. I mix a capful inside a gallon of water, and I shake it up really well. And then every 2 weeks, I go ahead and I fertilize it. And every week when I water, I do one water, 1 week, one fertilizer, and the next week until I start seeing some type of growth or buds forming or anything like that. The reason I do it in between is because I like to get all that extra salt out and just drain it once a week, so it doesn't. I'm not over fertilizing my phal. So that's what I do to this. Guys, always remember, keep this clear container. This will give you a nice, nice indication of what's going on with the root system. When they're nice and green, it means that the plant is hydrated. When it's silverish gray, it needs water. So just keep that in mind. And empty spikes don't bother me. There's some people that don't like to have just an empty, empty spike hanging around their house, but just put it close to a window. Try to ignore it. Just do it once a week, water it once a week, fertilize it every 2 weeks. And eventually you'll get flowers. I mean, look at this. This was not very cute when it was starting to, when it was empty and there was nothing going on. But I have a new leaf growing here. My roots look good. Let me see if I can take her out. Or you can see it through the container. The root system looks good. It looks green in there. And then look at all the buds that are forming. I mean, this is going to be a beautiful white, big, beautiful white phals just growing from here. And had I cut it, I wouldn't have this now. I would probably have to wait another year, another 8 months, or, God knows when it's going to bloom again. So anyway, so that's today's video. That's my suggestion. I do not like to cut spikes. Other orchid growers, they do, and they feel like that way they get more flowers. Like I said, you do what works for you. You can try it. You can maybe get 2 of them and just try to see what works better for you. I have good luck just leaving the spike, so I wanted to share that with you. And that's it for today's video. Just make sure everything is nice and disinfected, make sure you fertilize, and make sure it gets plenty of sunlight, close to a window, nothing too direct. That's it. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Mwah.